Now, on our third topic today, we will be discussing scaling in Iceland. And the first one to give us an insight on that topic is Mr. Guðrún, Miss Guðrún Hafsteinsdottir, the CEO of Kjörís, which is one of the largest ice cream makers in Iceland. She's also the chairperson for the Federation of Industries in Iceland. And the story of Kjörís is a typical founder story and a family business. So, with the story of Kjörís, Miss Guðrún Hafsteinsdottir. Here you go.
Dear guests, if you can dream it, you can do it. This quote is attributed to Walt Disney, whose achievements are known to all. My father had a dream that came true, although he was not successful at first. He founded his company in Hveragerði, took an active part in town life, and was popular among the townspeople. Now I have to go. Here he is. His office was frequently visited by people with various ideas for new products and companies. As a child, I would listen to these conversations and realize that some of these ideas were unlikely to be successful. My father, however, always encouraged people to continue working on their ideas and advised them on where to seek assistance and what they could do in order to make their dream come true. When I asked him why he didn't tell these people that their ideas were bad and didn't stand a chance, he replied to me, "Gudrun, you must never kill people's ideas. Everyone who gets an idea is a rich person. Your ideas grow wings when you discuss them with others. A very poor idea can grow and develop into something wonderful. Discussion can even lead you towards something different to your original idea. We must not be afraid to talk about our ideas and get others to participate in them, as this increases the chance of our dreams coming true. Even if we get 100 poor ideas, there is always the chance of 1 or 2 of them coming true, and that makes it all worthwhile." My father was an entrepreneur. He studied abroad for 7 years, dairy engineering, and during that time he became familiar with the various types of cheese available. He foresaw great opportunities as cheesemaker in Iceland, where only one type was produced at that time, a 26% bred cheese. But his first attempt was not a success. He founded his company and began producing cheese. But the venture ended in bankruptcy. He had used all his resources to establish the small cheese factory in Hveragerði, my hometown, in 1968, and he lost almost everything. After the failure of this cheese-making venture, my parents lived in a run-down shack, had no possessions to speak of, and my father was out of work. My mother was crestfallen, as they had 2 young children at that time. My father was disappointed, but for him, surrender was not an option. In his optimism, he decided to produce ice cream instead of the failed cheeses. This project was no less difficult than the previous one, but now he had the experience he had lacked the first time. But what was it that made my father an entrepreneur? Looking back, I see that his personality and outlook on life were the main contributing factors to his company's success the second time around. He was a uniquely cheerful and a positive man. His positivity enabled him to always see the bright side of life. This quality is what distinguishes entrepreneurs everywhere, whether they are men or women, young or old. When I show this picture, sometimes when teenagers are visiting our company, they ask me, whoa, did Amy Winehouse work? I believe the entrepreneurs make a decision to be positive and cheerful. They often have to deal with problems that have never been solved before, are very positive, and possess something unique that motivates them. Being an entrepreneur is a long-term process that involves numerous obstacles. Some entrepreneurs have to face bankruptcy many times before finally achieving success. My father was successful in his second attempt, and I believe the main reason for his success was the experience that he had acquired. Although many would like to avoid experience gained from failures, it is in fact essential. Knowledge and expertise acquired by trying out various things is valuable and must not be underestimated. I have never defined myself as an entrepreneur, although I guess I possess many entrepreneurial qualities. I was only 23 when I had to take control of my father's company due to his sudden death at just 59 years old. I had no experience to speak of and had no face demanding challenges each and every day. My biggest learning experience in life was leaving work on a Friday as a regular employee in our factory and arriving on Monday morning as the superior of 60 employees. It could therefore be said that having to learn everything by yourself is an entrepreneurial venture in itself. I had to undergo a baptism by fire as regards human resources, finances, procurement, and sales to customers. I had to immerse myself in practically everything pertaining the operations of our company. I also take on the role of an entrepreneur when Kjörís develops new products. Each year sees 20 or 30 new products, although only 1 or 2 of them are still present 5 years later. For me, product development is an exciting task that provides an opportunity to analyze the market and try to sense what consumers want. The process that follows is no less enjoyable, developing the product from initial idea right the way through till it's introduced on the market. It was apparent that my father had the tendency, like so many entrepreneurs, to have a hand in everything and keep a close watch on all things. He kept his checkbook in one back pocket, in the inventory and order book in the other. And he memorized all recipes. This proved to me and my siblings, when we took over the running of the company, how important it is to formalize all aspects of operations. A great deal of knowledge was lost with the departure of my father, requiring much basic work by those who were left behind. Many saw an opportunity in the passing of my father, and after only 3 or 4 days, investors and lawyers began calling our home to make bids for the company. This was a small family-run enterprise, and decision had to be made fast. Here, my mother showed tremendous strength. Despite having just lost her life partner, she decided to keep the company. And she said to me and my siblings, "We will continue running the company in the memory of your father." We have done so ever since 1993 and are proud of this fact. He was a pioneer and a founder, and we continued his work. Although we brought new ideas into the company, we continued on solid foundation that he had built. It's valuable for children to be raised in an entrepreneurial environment. My father taught me that no force is stronger than the individual and the human mind. He was a great believer in cooperation and did not hesitate to discuss ideas over the dinner table. He encouraged me and my siblings to take part in discussion on new ice cream types. One rainy summer when I was 12, I think, my father complained of low ice cream sales, adding that we might have to acquire an unrelated business to compensate for the loss of income. And he asked us over dinner what this business could be, encouraging us to think outside the box. The conclusion was that boot manufacturer Nokia would be ideal, as so many boots were being sold due to the weather this summer. This marked the beginning of the entrepreneurial mindset that stays with you. But why did he want to found his company in Hveragerði, a little town outside Reykjavík? He lived in Hveragerði when he made choice, and the geothermal heat was the main contributing factor. He realized the endless opportunities for energy-intensive industries and tourism. He was a great believer in Iceland and considered us Icelanders lucky in many respects. I can foresee Iceland becoming an ideal location for innovation enterprises. Lines of communications are short, and the market is small, so it's easy to test products on target groups and get a swift response. The startup environment has also become quite good. We have the potential to become a melting pot for startups. But this does not happen by itself. We have to decide where we want to head and strive to reach that goal. I believe that we create our own destiny and that nothing is impossible as long as we retain our health. I was also brought up to believe in hard work. The home and the company were one and the same, with endless work hours, sleepless nights, and work every day of the year. But the entrepreneur always believes that his work will be repaid as one day the idea clicks and everything turns out successfully. Some entrepreneurs become wealthy, but many believe that being happy at their work is adequate compensation for their efforts. If you want to be paid accordingly to an hourly rate and have your life's earning be in accordance with your work contribution, being an entrepreneur is not for you. For many years, the Federation of Icelandic Industry has encouraged innovation, for example, by founding the Association of Startup Enterprises and highlighting the achievements of fast-growing startups with the annual Vaxtarsproti Awards. The 10th such award will be handed out later this week on Wednesday. The purpose of the award is to increase interest and understanding of the development work carried out by innovations companies. Recently, the Federation of Icelandic Industry established an innovation council in order to promote the great opportunities that innovative enterprises present. The Federation of Icelandic Industries is pleased to have entered into a partnership with Startup Iceland. We believe that the ingenuity and adaptability of Icelanders is not only valuable for us, but for the whole world, as experience has shown that many Icelandic creations have reached international markets. There are many established companies within the Federation of Icelandic Industries, but also numerous innovation enterprises. It could be said that all the member companies are entrepreneurial enterprises in some sense. They all had to begin somewhere, and many of them place great emphasis on constant innovation. It's important for established companies to resist stagnation by creating a nourishing environment in which new entrepreneurs can thrive. They must be able to learn from experience of those who have trodden the thorny path of innovation before them. Established companies can also gain by attracting new ideas that could result in new successes for them. All this has the effect of creating competitive businesses and interesting new jobs. Many entrepreneurs are motivated by their desire to shape their own work. They want to work on things that interest them and that they enjoy doing. My father, for example, was never at work. For him, each day was a pure pleasure. This is the kind of work that everyone longs for, one that creates the fulfillment we all crave. You need passion in order to achieve success. You have to be passionate about a project in order to bring it to fruition. This kind of passion can be felt all around Harpa today. The enthusiasm is palpable, as is the unique will to make a contribution and create something new. Of course, some of the guests today are mainly motivated by profits, which is good in itself. But I believe that in most cases, the motivation is a longing to change the world. I encourage you, never give up. Be persistent and try to make each day at work enjoyable, just as was the case with my father in the ice cream factory and is the case with myself today. You just do what you have to do in order to make your dreams come true. Thank you.